Greetings, friends. How are you? Good to see you. Hi, Lolita. Good to see you. Welcome. Do I need to make you a co-host? Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
perfect. Excellent. Thanks, everybody, for getting on. If you are okay with your camera, I always love to see you. If you're not, if you're indisposed, if you don't know why the heck you're wearing that shirt, it's okay if you want to stay off camera. But these are hangouts where we get to know each other and we chat. And so I love to see you and hear from you. And we'll do that today. We got a rocket agenda here, and we're gonna talk about some things going on in the industry, in the community, and some really cool things we got coming up that I want to share with you, get your thoughts on. And if we have time and you have questions for me, I'd love to answer them. It can be about anything. I'm just here for you. It could be about relationships. I'm a really good relationship coach. No, it could be about, anything freelancing, anything you think I'm qualified to help with. I'm happy to answer. So I want to start with something that I published this week, an email you may have seen me send out. I also put it on Facebook, and it's touching some nerves. And it's interesting to me because it reminds me that as copywriters, especially, we have to remember that we're not always the market, even if we think we're the market, right? And there's this amazing thing that happens with copywriters when we're coming into a new project, and that is especially if it's a brand new market for you, right, or one you only know a little about. I called it like this. It's the golden time of research where you're still brand new, and you're pretty much on level with where most of your prospects are going to be when they're being introduced to the thing you're about to become a total expert in, right? And of course, when we become an expert in something that we're writing about, we quickly develop the curse of knowledge. And so it's understandably a tendency for us to just want to get as quickly as we can to that level of knowledge. So obviously we can write like an authority on the topic. However, it's important to remember that once it's gone, it's gone. This sort of like these newbie goggles that are so valuable to have when you're coming into something, because that's your avatar. That's the person you've got to talk to and speak the language that they understand. So when you're brand new in a project, remember, hey, before I dive deep and get myself leveled up to the rest of the team here and what they know about this, let me make a list of all the things I don't understand. What are the terms that don't quite make sense to me? Are they using acronyms that I'm having to go Google to understand what they're even saying? Make a list for yourself of those things. Take screenshots. And that's one of the immediate ways that you can bring value and impact to a sales campaign before you even start writing. Go, hey, here's four things on your current sales letter or your landing page or even in your social that I didn't understand, and I bet a lot of people don't understand. So consider changing those things right now and use different wording, and that'll be super valuable. So with that said, that was a little side road there. I wrote a thing that went out Thursday that's all about a thing that irks me at all times, and the problem is worse than I even think it is. And this is, again, another great reason to do authority content and to write about things, because the feedback you get is very instructive about where other people are. And so in this case, I'm writing about how so many people in our industry pitch freelancing business growth like they would pitch a biz op, a biz op. And look, like I said in the article, I get it. I get why people do that. I get why people fall for it. Everybody wants to make more money. Money is how we measure success. That doesn't mean it's the best way to measure success. It's just that it's how we do it. And so it's so easy to just make that promise. I'm going to tell you how to double your income, blah, 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 super quick. And there's tricks to doing this. And you just have to say higher numbers, and you just have to, you know, look, there are certainly ways to do this, but there are no shortcuts in freelancing. It is a career. It is a job. So much of it is built on trust and reputation. The greatest asset you will ever have to getting high quality leads into your freelancing business is one thing. Let's play a little quiz. If you had to guess what the one thing is, the most valuable thing you'll ever have to quickly grow your freelancing career, to get great leads, where do you think those would come from? Nope, it's not. It's not even your writing. It's not even the work. Again, I'm not here to. Yes, there you go. There we go. Yep, that's exactly right. Drew nailed it. The exact word I was thinking. It's referrals. It's referrals. And so, you know, if every time you show up to meet a prospect, you come with your integrity and your intent to help them, to do great work for them, you can count that call as a win, whether or not you end up doing work together. I have lost count of the times that I have been referred to a really good client by someone who I wasn't a fit for. Whether I wasn't ready to do what they needed me to do, I didn't have the knowledge, whether they couldn't afford me at the time. But you know, I make sure that I give them something valuable on the call, and just be a cool human. Like, we would all want to meet a cool human that's willing to be forthright with information and share knowledge. And those people remember that, and they even make a note in their head sometimes, like, if I get a chance, if somebody's looking for a copywriter, I'd love to refer this guy, this girl, because they're awesome. Right? Just be awesome. So much of that. The conversation to truly help freelancers have a successful career, to create these relationships, to make every single conversation they have with prospects and the work they do with clients grow their career, should not be, here's how to double your income very quickly. It should be, here's how to double your value very quickly. Right? If you go into every single conversation you have going, how can I provide value? And my only goal is to provide value. If I provide value, an offer is going to come my way. Or maybe not from this exact person, maybe from someone they recommend, but you can all but guarantee, if that's your sole intent, just like you would with a family member, you know, all it takes is like 10% more than the person you're talking to of your knowledge than theirs for you to be the expert they need in that moment. You know, if it's 20, 30, 100%, great, but 10% more, you're an expert. So if somebody knows you're into copy and you're writing ads and you understand how Facebook ads work or something like that, how many times have you been recommended by a friend of a friend or whatever? Hey, would you mind getting on a call with this person? Or I told them you might be able to answer a question for them. You would just show up, no agenda, going, I want to help them. Sure. Show up to everything like that. All we got to be is smart. Appreciate the fact that we're smart, because we're learning, we're immersed in this, we're paying attention. And then when you get on a call with somebody, just ask good questions, listen to what they have, and give what you got in that moment. Don't be afraid. You know, you're giving too much. Obviously, you don't want to spend an hour and a half with somebody and like be rewriting their ads on the call. I mean, common sense, right? But I used to get caught up in this whole thing. Oh, you're giving too much away on the call. I used to believe that, and I used to say, "Damn, I kick myself. I've been too good to people. on these prospect calls, and I gave them too much, and now they're not hiring me. That's not why they didn't hire me. They didn't hire me because they weren't going to hire me because they probably weren't ready to spend money in the first place. But what I made was a friend. What I made was a connection. Really inspiring story from the world of show business, if you will. My best friend in the world, Billy Gardell, is a pretty famous actor. He was on a show called Mike and Molly with Melissa McCarthy for 6 years. They did 100 episodes. He's now currently on one of only 4 sitcoms left on CBS, which used to be all sitcoms. It's called Bob Hart's Abishola, and they just got picked up for their 3rd or 4th season. So they're doing 100 episodes of that show. Very few actors have 100 episode series, more than one, if you ever get that. But here's the thing about Billy. He's the most untraditional celebrity or actor you've ever seen. He recently lost a lot of weight, but forever he was a rotund guy, and he didn't fit the mold of what you typically think of as an actor. And so when I moved out to Hollywood with Billy years ago, and he stayed, I left, and he's, because he had a vision, he knew what he wanted. Here's my point. The way Billy got where he got was not only being talented, having a great work ethic, but he would go to any audition that his agent sent him on. And sometimes he would know before he even got in the car to drive there, this wasn't right for him. Other times it kind of seemed right, and he'd walk into the lobby where they're holding the auditions, and there'd be like, 20 other guys who were 15 years younger than him and all looked like Bradley Cooper. He's like, I look like John Goodman. I'm in the wrong building. And but he wouldn't turn around and leave, which a lot of people would, and then get on the phone and start cursing out their agent. He'd say, I'm going to go in and charm the hell out of them. I'm going to go make new friends with these casting directors. And he would walk in and he would go, surprise, he would make a joke about it right away. Like, I don't know why I'm here either, but hey, here's my read. And they would laugh, and they would clearly, know that he wasn't getting that part. But a week later, do they need a big guy, a blue collar guy, a funny guy? They're calling up Billy. So he got more work from auditions he was wrong for than some of the ones he was right for. Until then, he was known, and then they would call him in for the right stuff, right? And then and now there's a Billy Gardell type in casting rooms in Hollywood, And so I just share that so that we can use that same mindset for us. Be you, be ready to give value, and don't think of it as, I got to close this deal, and what am I going to say if you're practicing saying some outrageous number, even though you're really kind of pooping your pants a little bit, going, I don't think I know how to earn that kind of money. And just don't do it. Yes, believe me, in my community here in Copy Chief, with the freelancers I work with, I spend more time helping them charge what they're actually worth, because I don't attract the kind of people, because I never market on here's how to quadruple your income in 6 minutes using this one weird trick, right? So I want you to get all the money you deserve for the work you do, but you also want to do it confidently. Yes, it's good to have backup. Yes, it's good to have systems you can rely on. If you're in a network of other copywriters who you can lean on to put more eyes on your stuff and all those things, that's a tremendous help. That's what helped me a lot. But it doesn't mean that you should be charging as much as people who have been doing this 5 years when you've been doing it 5 weeks or 5 months, or you know what I mean? And again, I'm preaching to the choir here, but anyway, that's the thing that gets me fired up. And so I wrote about it, and here's what I want to share with you, because I could rant all day and it wouldn't mean anything. And when I wrote this piece, it was a bit of a rant. And I said, now something's missing from this piece for me. And it was the obvious thing of, well, what should they do instead? How can I show what to do instead of just talk about, hey, don't do this. I didn't want us to say, just don't be stupid and say big, ridiculous, uncomfortable. And by the way, again, if you didn't get to read the piece, the thing that really motivated me to write it is hearing from clients about how this is such a problem, that they keep meeting brand new copywriters who want to charge $10,000-$20,000 or more for a sales letter, and they ask how long you've been writing. 6 months, but I know that's what it's worth. And I've never written in your industry, but I wrote a Facebook ad for a cookbook once, and that's kind of like writing for supplements. So I get it. I know what to do. I mean, come on. And they're angered and they're scared, and it makes it harder for all of us to get gigs. It makes them more skeptical. And so we all, I think, need to, if you have integrity, when you see things like that, you don't have to go out and start wars, but pull someone aside and ask them privately, hey, how's that working for you? Is it really legit? Is it, kind of get the true story. See if you can get past the social media vanity version of the story. And so I added in, I said, okay, I've been coaching freelancers probably longer than anybody I know directly. What are probably the 5 things that actually allow you to double your income very quickly? And so these are the ones I came up with. And I'll just share those with you. So I'm making sure I'm giving value. Look for the piece in your email or on Facebook, and there's a lot of interesting comments. I've heard from so many business owners after posting this. And this is, again, going back to what I was saying in the beginning about being reminded that you're not even the market. It's worse than I thought. It's way worse than I thought. I'm hearing from so many business owners who are like, thank you for saying this. This is a major problem. I've been hearing this more and more from copywriters. I don't know where they get these prices. And, okay. So here's how to increase your value and thus your income as a freelancer. Number 1, specialize. I'll preach this to the day I die, because you will always earn more as a trusted expert than you will as a generalist. All right, common sense. You guys know this. I don't need to go deeper into that. Number 2, this is a big one. This is really the crux of it for me. Target dream clients. So don't just hope to work with your dream client someday. Study what they're doing and develop ways to improve on it. Then introduce yourself or find someone to connect you and show it to them, because I promise you'll have their attention. Does that make sense? The main thing is to not just wait around and hope that better clients start to come your way. This is a thing, this is as woo as I get. We can manifest this simply by putting our thoughts and our energy toward identifying who is a dream client. If you're single and lonely, and you're starting to think about dating, I would imagine you sit down with yourself and you go, okay, who would I like to date? What would they be like? What qualities would they have that are important to me? What qualities do I want to make sure they don't have that have made other relationships go bad? And you would do that for yourself. All we have to do is that same thing for when we think about our clients. And then we say, okay, what do they look like? What kind of revenue are they? What kind of ads are they running? What industry are they in, where I feel like I understand the avatar and I would want to help those people? I wake up inspired to write about this product. What's a product that I've bought that I love, that I would love to write, that I'm already selling to friends and family because I love it so much? Could that be a client for me? Right. And then we have this amazing gift of our plugged in life. It'd be super simple to see every single thing they're putting out in their marketing funnels by getting on a list, buying an inexpensive product to now be on a buyer's list and see what other offers. So you could very quickly become an expert in what your dream client is selling, how they're selling it. And you study this just like you would if you were taking a college course or however you want to think about it. That is your mission, to stalk essentially this dream client. And then other people like them, maybe in other markets, maybe it's their competitors, whatever it is. And suddenly you've now helped yourself grow because you're applying critical thought to how would I take what I know right now. Maybe if I'm brand new, I'm seeing something done really well over here that I don't see doing well here. What would I do if I was going to write, say, a story-based email for an e-com product that right now is only using images and it's always about price reduction? How would I approach it? And then you practice and you write your version. This is, the screwing around part, the having fun with your new skill part, right? Do that for yourself. And then when you feel good about that, you present it to that person. Hey, I love your stuff. I follow your stuff. Everybody says that with the BS. Come on, blah, blah. They take a minimal piece of information and they say blah, blah, and they're supposed to open the door. But then you can immediately tell it's a cut and paste pitch from there, and people are, that filter's been gone. Is hard now. But if you're actually going, hey, I just for fun, I wrote what I would. What it might look like if you wrote an entertaining email about your product. And I just thought I'd share it with you for fun. No response needed, right? I mean, now let me tell you, if the right person reads that and they've been thinking, yeah, we need to do something else with our email, like they're just our open rate sock. And do you think you have these people's attention? You got to just share your work. And what's the worst that can happen? You don't hear anything from them. I promise if you come with some other kind of straight pitch, you're not going to hear from them. They're going to delete you, block you immediately. So why not practice your craft in a way that inspires you and then share it and see what happens? Maybe nothing will happen. The point is, you're getting better at doing the thing that you would uniquely bring to a client like that. And I promise you, if you focus your energy on doing those kinds of things, other clients, other opportunities where you connect the dots and say, I could do that thing I've been goofing around with over here for this. They're asking for that. You see, that's how we bring ourselves to it. That's how we increase our value. It isn't a transaction. It isn't about a number. Yes, we want to make more money. Of course, we all want to do well. But that's how you do it. You do it in a way that gets you excited, and then you put it out. And so that's number 2. I'll get through the others a little quicker. Build trust. The most overlooked asset, this is a big one, freelancers have, is simply being a good person. I just heard Carolyn Anian say this to somebody in our financial copywriting club. Don't underestimate how much just being cool and being a good person will factor into somebody wanting to hire you, right? We all get hung up on, am I qualified or do I know enough? Are they going to ask me a question I can't answer? Don't worry about this. Show up, be yourself, be cool. I can tell you, as somebody who has hired almost as many freelancers and contractors that I've coached at this point, you're looking for the person. You say, can I work with this person? Will I trust this person? Are they bringing passion and critical thought to to the role I need, to the work I need done? Not can they dazzle me with numbers? And for you on the other side, if all somebody cares about when you get on the call with them is show me proof that you've made this or that money, and it's all about the data for them, and you don't have that yet, it's not a match. So a no is fine. Okay, so you learn a little from that call, and then you go, wow, maybe I got to find a way to get those numbers, or I'm, noted, important to have some stats when I can get them from clients. But doesn't mean you're just halted and you can't work anymore until you get stats. It just wasn't a good client for you, wasn't a match. Generate ROI. This is now, again, we do this critical thinking, and can we learn the numbers behind the kind of campaigns that excite us, that we're following, right? And can we learn from other freelancers, from coaches, from communities, what the numbers actually look like to do something like, let's say, write an email automation, to write a cart abandon series for somebody who doesn't have one now. What kind of revenue would that recover from people actually coming back to buy the product because they got distracted or whatever, and compelling them and continue to sell them? You know, the marketing got them all the way to the sales page. They started to order and then stopped, you know, and then a lot of companies, they just let that person wander away for life. That's crazy, right? It's such an easy thing to go back and compel that person to come back and finish the transaction. A surprising number of companies don't have this in place. They rely on their you know, their fulfillment software's dunning, which is like, you know, just AI produced copy. Hey, did you forget something? You know, Chris Orzakowski came in and wrote our abandon sequence, and we recovered, you know, if he would have said, what would you pay me up front to do that? I don't know, a couple grand, you know, because basically it's like saving us time. He's like, man, you know, you could really, I think, do well with your cart abandon. I'm like, cool. What does that look like? He's like, let me just write it. Let's test it and do what do you think is fair? I said, I'll pay you 50% of what it brings in up to 10K. So I paid him $10,000 to write like 5 emails, and was happy to do it because I got $10,000 of money that I wasn't going to get too, right? You see, it's simple. But if he hadn't obsessed on how to do a better cart abandon series, and I trusted him as an expert to do, it was a no-brainer for both of us. So that's how you create ROI. And again, if you're brand new, yes, have some clients first, get in the door, start getting paid, prove the model. But if you're in phase 3, 4, 5 of the freelancer's journey, you've got to be getting in there and getting deep and starting to understand how the numbers work, so that you can make the proposition you have with the client at that point. Number 1, good person, good. Number 2, experienced in what we need, good. Number 3, can you both see the math into where if you were able to help them convert a modicum better than they are now, it would equal X amount of dollars based on what they're doing now? That's a big hell yes. And why wouldn't they pay you a healthy percentage of that if they get to keeping what you create from them after that, right? It's pretty simple. But I get that if you're brand new, that would have blown my mind when I started. I'd have been like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's scary. Leave me alone. So I get that you might need to build up to that. That's okay. But it needs to be on this list, because that is when the money starts getting really good. And you can get there faster if you focus on that and you choose, what are the things I could do that I feel qualified to write for that will actually create ROI. And then finally, network. You know, it is true that we become the average of the 5 people closest to us, right? And so in business, you need to align with people who have achieved what you are looking to achieve, so you can learn exactly how it works and how to apply it to your unique situation. And so again, the example there is, when I talk about networking, yes, know people, get to know people and have relationships, you'll get referrals. But if you can get a friend, an ally, a peer who is doing a thing like that, like you know, creating ROI offers for their clients, and they say, hey man, will you take me behind the scenes and show me how that works? What do those numbers look like? What are your parameters for how do you identify clients that you know would be a good fit for this? And how do you pitch them? What does it look like? You know, man, that's like everything. Suddenly it's real. It's somebody you know, you trust, who's actually doing it. And it's not just some blip that somebody said on Facebook that's supposed to promise all this. You've got to be able to apply a system to yourself, your unique circumstances, your unique creative DNA. There's some things you're going to do and find easy. There's other things you're going to fight like hell to not have to do. You may or may not have to do them anyway. But if a system isn't flexible, if a system is marketed with this sort of air of trust us, this works. And if it doesn't work for you, you're kind of stupid. You know, it's kind of your fault. Like, because it worked for all these people. Look, it worked for look, here's 25-year-old dudes who live alone. It worked for all of them. Okay, well, I'm a 45-year-old single mother with a job. Will it work for me? Well, it worked for them. Not the same. It's got to be flexible. You got to be able to say, here's what you don't maybe treat it like a job, like a business. Here's how much time I'm going to dedicate to this. And here's how I'm going to make sure I'm getting the most out of my time when I do sit down to do something. I never want to be wondering, what should I do today? I've been told I got to post more on Instagram. So I don't know. Oh, my dog looks funny right now. I'll just put that isn't a plan. That isn't helping you. All right. I got to talk myself off the ledge when I get going. So that's what I wrote this week. And it's got a lot of people fired up, and it felt good to write it. And I was glad I added 5 things you can actually do and think about, and not just left it, because I think it would have been a bit of a failure if I had released it without that. And so thanks for listening, and please read it, get the email. It'll be up on the blog as well come Monday, probably, Lolita. We always turn my Thursday emails into blog posts, because that's the Thursday emails, just so you know, that's me sitting down to share my thoughts the best that I can collect them for you once a week. And so if you're on my list, and if you read nothing else, I'd love for you to read the Thursday emails. Okay. Lots of exciting things going on here in Copy Chief land. 2 things that I want to talk about. Number one is in this same vein of wanting to teach copywriters and freelancers the things they don't know and aren't available for them to learn, right? That's kind of what Copy Chief has become for me. It's like, okay, now there's a ton of people out teaching other things in copy where I was here first. Now it's a bit crowded. How can I differentiate what we do here in Copy Chief? And for me, it's like, how can I put you with real experts doing the real thing that you want to do, and have them teach you directly how it works, right? No BS, no filters, no hoops to jump through, no other thing you have to sign up for to make it actually work. It's not a trick. I just want to bring people together. That's what Copy Chief has always been about. How do we all become a collective Copy Chief for each other, so we feel backed up, so we feel safe and secure and confident to go do great work? So in that vein, we created what we're calling the world of financial copywriting. The reason I was inspired to start this was for a couple reasons. Number one was that every single year when we do Copy Chief Live, we create these roundtable events where we put copywriters with clients who are looking to hire copywriters, right? And every single year, we have people from the world of financial copywriting there, because they have the greatest hunger for new copy talent. And every single year, copywriters who thought financial copywriting wasn't for them for whatever reason get to come face to face with it, and they're surprised to learn that they in fact feel like this might actually be perfect for them. And then they get to meet the publishers and see how it works, and realize these people aren't as scary as I thought. They're actually kind of cool, and they have these teams, and I would certainly learn the most I could ever learn about how to write copy, no matter what I do a year from now. And they're now getting offers. They go from maybe even struggling to stay booked as a freelancer to suddenly somebody say, I'd like to buy a year of your time. Let's do a test project, and if it goes well, here's a contract I'm willing to offer you for good money. There's royalty potential, and let's try it for a year. And after that, we'll both know if this is better for us. And if it works out, we'll make millions of dollars together. If not, you're welcome for the education and the experience. Go rock on, and we'll see you down the road. Okay. So every single year that would happen, to the tune of, I can't count anymore, but we have done 4 Copy Chief Lives, 3 in person, 1 virtual, and no less than 50 of those contracts resulted from those those roundtable events. Okay. And so it's so life-changing for both parties really, but mostly for the copywriters. I just said to the team, we can't only have this happen once a year, right? We've got to create a place where we can make this happen all the time and create these relationships. But and then the other cool thing was we had people in our community who had gone through this process. Carolyn Anani and Joshua Lee Henry, Jimmy Parent, Bronco Mijatovic, all these people who did exactly what I was just talking about, met financial publishers in some way through Copy Chief, or weren't really doing that when they started and then started doing it and got really good at it, started having the career of their lives, happier than ever. And now suddenly I look around and we've got these top level financial copywriters serving as our ambassadors in Copy Chief. And I thought, well, it's crazy to not give them the microphone and say, teach everybody how this works. So, so we had this bounty of riches, and that's why we created it. And it's been amazingly successful. I don't know, 5 or 6 contracts have happened just since we're about to do our 3rd training. So it's a 6-month program. 6 or 7 months, we're doing a training every month. It's led by Joshua Lee Henry, who is, I can't even, I'd spend another 30 minutes talking about how great Joshua is. A great teacher, a passionate person, super smart, and just a giant heart. He's always helping people, even behind the scenes. And he agreed to personally make sure that he could take people by the hand who are ready to apply for one of these jobs and guide them through the process. How valuable is that? What other industry is somebody going to just volunteer to do that? It doesn't happen anywhere. We are so fortunate to be in copywriting. This is one of the only industries where people are that damn generous. These are busy people. They could easily, if this was all about money like other people talk about it, they wouldn't waste any time trying to help you get a job. They'd be busy going to make their money and then, sitting on the beach with their laptop and all that horseshit. That's not how it works. You give and you get, and you give and you get, and you give and you get. And then that's how you grow. All right. So I think Joshua was here. And going, dude, thanks. How do I follow that intro? How are you, buddy?
No, hey, no, I'm so glad to be here, Kevin. Thanks for inviting me on. And it's exciting because, even though I am doing this world of financial copywriting and working with the Agora publishers now, and specifically with Banyan Hill and my particular franchise, Money and Markets, I love helping new copywriters go from 0 to 100, or, landing that first client, landing that first project, that first big winner. And then getting momentum. And, something I learned from the great Dan Kennedy many years ago when I first started, and Kevin, this may have even come through one of the trainings that you had done in real free life, but, to do one thing every day that builds your business. And so whether that's writing a piece of authority content, whether that's reaching out to a prospect, making your list of the dream 100 clients that Kevin was talking about, clients that would, just excite you to work with and that could change your business, change your mindset, and open the door to more introductions for you. Those types of things really do move the needle. They may feel like small things at first. Sometimes you may not see the fruit of the labor that you put in to accomplish those things right away. But I tell you, I'm telling you, what goes around comes around, and you reap what you sow. And if you do something intentional every day to grow your business, and I'm talking not just hand copying sales letters or watching a training, that's good, but having the courage to step out and pick up the phone and call somebody, or go to an event, pay, get paid to get on an airplane and to buy a hotel room and to go to a conference, because that you're going to be intentional about having a conversation with somebody when you get there. And you don't know where that conversation may lead, but you're going to take that chance, take that risk, make the sacrifice to make your dreams come true. I am so passionate about that. And I've done it myself. And I've shared my story in a number of other formats. And so that's floating around, I'm sure, in the forums. But I just want to encourage you, if you're new, what we're saying is possible. It's not just, selling smoke and mirrors. Unfortunately, there's so much biz op right now in the copywriting industry that are selling that dream, 6 figures on the beach. And that's just not reality. That's not the way it is. But if you've gotten into copywriting because you believe that it can give you the freedom that you want, for yourself, your family, financially, lifestyle, to grow a business, to be an entrepreneur, that very much is the reality. That can happen. And what Kevin is teaching today and in the different programs and what we have in Copy Chief will give you the tools to make that happen. So I just want to give a plug there because I can tell you right now, I've been a part of Copy Chief for 4 years, and the stuff that Kevin has taught and the people that Kevin has introduced me to, the network that I've built through Copy Chief has changed my life in so many ways. And so I am now a senior copywriter with the fastest growing franchise in all of Agora. I've written, 20 or so financial promotions over the last 4 years, some with small companies, some with Agora companies, some with international Agora companies. I've now been in senior positions at 2 major Agora companies, Money Map Press and now Banyan Hill. I just launched my newest promo yesterday. It was at the top of the Zambezi, which is our internal sales reports this morning. Sold more orders.
Congratulations, man.
Back end. Thank you. Yeah. And we did do a hot list and we did a build up and stuff. So, I was, a new promo competing with existing promos, but yeah, we sold right under $340,000 in less than, from 4 p.m. yesterday to 6 a.m. this morning. So less than 14 hours. And so now for the next week, we'll be doing replays and pushing people with post launches and a abandoned cart series, but, and I'll get paid royalties on that. And so if you put in the work and the time, and this is an evergreen promo, so we'll be continuing to run this every week,
right,
as part of our funnels, going forward. So, if you're new to copywriting, the dream is possible. And if you have any kind of an interest in financial copywriting in particular, please be a part of the world of financial copywriting forums. Please be involved in the trainings, not because I want more people to talk to. I mean, I don't need people to talk to. I talk to myself in my office. I could talk to a tree if I needed, but it's because I love seeing people succeed in this. And the number of new copywriters that I've taken from zero to now chiefing their own teams. I've got 3 or 4 copywriters that I've helped land major gigs with big Agora publishers, copywriters that I've helped get promotions going from, good, solid mid 5, figure contracts to 6-figure retainers plus royalties, to be in senior positions at other firms, at other publishers. I talked to Bill Bonner and Mark Ford on a semi-regular basis. These guys are billionaire copywriters, founders of Agora that I've had give me feedback and coaching, personal feedback and coaching. Mark Ford sends me books. Okay. So that happens if you Jim Rohn, we talked about Jim Rohn, you become you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's a quote from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn also says that success is something you attract by the person you become. Mm-hmm. Success is something you attract by the person you become. If you have the heart, the desire to put in the work, the drive. I've coached copywriters in other countries, Scotland, India, France, Singapore, Australia, Canada, Germany. If you're willing to put in the work to become the kind of person that attracts success, the world is yours. I really believe that. I mean, it's amazing. So I could preach all day, Kevin, but we've got the next training coming up, I believe the 29th, June 29th. We're going to be talking about research, how to turn research into riches.
You quickly recap the first 2 we did, and I want to spend just a minute explaining what the Zambezi is, and
sure.
Just give that context.
Sure. So the first training was, we did like an overview, financial copywriting 101, like a crash course into the world, how the business model works, how publishers are set up, the decentralized model that Mark Ford and Bill Bonner built for Agora, all of that, just very quick overviews of things. The second was a deep dive analysis and breakdown of the #1 selling front end that we had at Agora, which was also at Banyan Hill. And we had the publisher of that promo on the call with us. We also had a friend of mine, a former coworker of mine, Vitali, who is currently at Money Map right now. He and I broke into financial copywriting literally the same day. And he had a very successful back-end launch at Money Map around that time. So he also came on to share his insights. And so then this month is the research module. And so we've really broken down what the financial publishing business looks like, how front end promotions and back end promotions are structured, what that actually looks like from a transcript HTML standpoint and from a video production standpoint. We have a saying at Banyan that we aren't copywriters, we're screenwriters. Obviously we're copywriters, but all of our promos are on video.
Right.
So for my back end that I just launched, we had like 13 or 14 videos, including the main promo, which is a 47-minute video. So that's roughly 8,000 words of copy just in that, plus all the hot list videos leading up to it and post-launch videos. And so writing for camera and writing dialogue is very different than just writing a short form ad for Facebook or ClickBank or something like that. It's just a different level, different skill. The Zambezi is our daily email from Agora Central Services that goes out to all of Agora, health and finance. And then you get one specific to your affiliate, to your business. So for my case, it'd be Banyan Hill, my publisher. It's kind of like the Russian dolls, a doll inside of a doll inside of a doll. That's kind of how Agora works. There's a business inside of a business inside of a business. And so, and that has every day at 6:30, the numbers don't lie. So I totally agree with Kevin. We've hired people that haven't had the experience, but had the right attitude. They were hungry to learn and they were cool to work with, even though they didn't have any numbers to back them up. But on the flip side of that, you do have to have results. In the direct response business that we're in, results, that's the proof in the pudding. That's how you make your money. That's how you make your sales, your royalties. And so every day, that's the scoreboard of what promotions are doing well and which ones aren't doing well. They're ranked highest sales to lowest sales, highest amount of revenue brought in to the lowest. And that goes out every day. So everybody knows at all times, where you stand as a copywriter, where you stand as a publisher and as a business. And that goes out at 6:30 every morning. So I got up this morning on my way to the gym and opened up the sales report, and I didn't know what I was going to see. I didn't know if the last 3 months that I've been working on this promo that I've spent countless hours and, flesh and blood and, the whole team's been behind. We didn't know if it was going to do well or not. And I opened up that email at 6:40, as I was getting my coffee going to the gym, and I saw the sales numbers, and I saw there we were right at the top. And it's like,
beautiful.
We won.
Yeah. What a moment. What a moment.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're going to be talking about research this month. We've got a couple of surprises this month. We're going to have a great guest, somebody that our community knows and loves. I'm not going to say who yet, but it'll be a friendly voice that we hear with me on the training. And then in addition, we're going to have some extra surprises later on in the month where we'll hear from more people in the financial publishing industry. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much for, taking the helm of this, Joshua. You just, nobody better to teach this. And like we say, we're really blessed that we have people in our community who've been in our community for a long time, who are now at the top of that Zambezi. Yourself, now literally the thing you wrote and worked on with the team, #1 in all of Agora. That's unbelievable, unbelievable. And it's not just you. There's in the top 10 companies, I think we have 5 different members writing for those companies, working on those campaigns. And so if you want to see exactly how this works, Joshua has been sharing his whole journey into this promo, not only sharing other recent promos, but saying, here's what I'm working on this week. Here's what it looks like. Here's what we have left. What does it look like to write for a visual format, to actually show up to the production, the shooting? To me, that some of the funnest stuff I ever got to do as a copywriter was spending 3 days on set and changing things in real time. And it's very exciting. It's really the funnest part to me. Yeah. Well, that and being top of the Zambezi, I bet, is up there.
I'll just, because I know we're short on time, I'll just share, 4 years ago, right before I met Kevin, my wife and I were pregnant with our second child. I had just been fired from my third job. We had a 3-year-old. We had a mortgage to pay. I had just buried my dad, lost my father unexpectedly, got fired from my job, and we had less than $231 in our bank account.
Wow.
And I had no job, no money, no prospect of a job. And I went downtown in my local city and I literally knocked on doors, cold calling businesses, pitching them to hire me to write ads for them in copywriting. And I didn't even have money to pay for the parking space downtown. Now, fast forward 4 years, I'm a senior copywriter of the fastest growing franchise, the number one, imprint at Agora. I'm on top of the Zambezi. I've got a 6-figure retainer, and I regularly make 6 figures in royalties on top of that every year. So I don't say that to brag, but when you ask, why are you so passionate? Why do you give so much of your time? Why do you give so much career coaching just for free? Because I literally am a living, proof example of going from nothing to a recognized leader in this industry and being rewarded for it. And so I want that for all of you watching. If you have any interest, please be a part of the club and ask any questions. I'm an open book.
You're a great man, Josh, and you deserve that hair. You deserve it. Thank you, brother. Thanks for spending time today, man. Really
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll see you in there. So
good.
There you go. Again, I don't need to say anything. You just saw it firsthand. It's just, it's a blessing for me to be able to partner and create things with people that I've known Joshua since he was in that situation. I've watched all the different ways that he found business and tried different things. He was experimented with buying businesses for a while, partnering with businesses, and it all led him to this. And so again, that's his path. The takeaway for me is this. Don't you hear Joshua talking now and what he's doing now? He could do this for the next 10 years. He may get restless in 2 years, but won't he be able to call his own shots? He's going to be able to recognize the best opportunity for him. He's going to have all the credentials he could ever need to go partner with anybody or get funding to start something, right? In 4 years. And this is what I talk about when I mean about approaching this with intent and spending time to say, what do I want from this? What can I imagine this being? Because it really is, no BS here. It's unlimited. It's unlimited where this can take you. And that's what used to, my hair used to stand up when I was in a similar place to Joshua, and I needed the next thing. And I found copywriting. And the more I learned about it, I went, oh my God, this is sales. This is business. This is marketing. These are things I'm interested in skills I can develop, but I have the DNA of somebody who can be effective in this from my experience as a comic. And it's unlimited what I can do with it. And it felt like a miracle. Not to overblow it, but it's amazing that we all found our way into this thing. It's crazy. So when I see people treating it like a BS transactional thing, that's why I get fired up. Okay. I also want to talk to Kev K. Kev K is another guy that so great to be working with. Again, because Kev was in my original mastermind group, and always was so impressed with Kev, and we kind of lost touch. And I was interviewing him for my podcast about what he's doing now, and I'm sitting there going, "This is exactly what we need in Copy Chief." And I approached him and said, "Man, would you even consider, becoming our CMO?" And he said, "Let's talk about it." And here we are, 60 days in, Kev, and I couldn't be happier. I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, totally. And I added an addendum to that contract that for your more dangerous presentations, I can be your stunt double. I could just step in. Just
That's true. Just put a little beard on you, and when they're getting the lighting straight, you can just stand in as me. That's great, dude. And another thing that's great, not unlike Joshua, you have a lot to teach. You've been out there. You're a behind the scenes guy to some degree. You also take the best of what you learn and you put it on stage. And so I'm really excited for this event we're doing in Knoxville. This is September 14th through 16th. If you guys haven't seen it, it's copychief.com/Knoxville. This is basically how we want to do events for now. I was doing the 200 to 300 person big Copy Chief live party. We may get back to those. I'm just going to tell you real quick in full transparency. It's one of the riskiest things you can do is put on an event that size, unless you have the agenda of pitching a program, a high ticket thing, and making the whole event about that. That's the only way to make money with that size event. Okay. They're very expensive to put on the way we want to do them. And frankly, I don't want to ask you to fly to a town so that I can sit and pitch you for 3 days straight. I want to hang out and have fun and get to know you and be really effective for you. So we've decided to experiment more with 50-person or less size events. That way, all we need is your ticket price to make it work. And when you come in, all we're doing is learning, sharing. We get to know everybody in the room and we have a great time. And you leave there with an actual action plan of here's how I'm going to take what I invested in this event and turn it into money on the other side. Before you get on the plane, because if I let you get on the plane and land and you got a list of to-dos and 25 emails you got to answer, I know a lot of that gets lost. It's just human nature. So we're not going to let you leave this event until you have a 90-day action plan of exactly what to do. The event is all about, we're talking about going beyond client money. So this is if you've been freelancing for a while and you've gained the hard-won knowledge to start your own offers. This is the natural evolution. Again, one of the amazing things about being a freelancer, you get to learn on your client's dime. It's an agreed upon value exchange, so you can be more valuable to them. But of course, now you know how to take what they've been doing and go do it for yourself. And there comes a point in your career, phase 5, 6, 7, where you're like, I think this was a conversation I was having with myself, Kevin. I bet you've been through this too. For years, it was like, get to the end of the year, I would look and I go, this is great. We're making great money. I love my clients, but I got to get my own thing going if I'm ever going to have some leverage. And if I spent like 3 or 4 years having that conversation.
Totally. That's one of the things I love the most about the copy chief way, right? And following the freelancer's journey and knowing what phase you're in and doing it the right way with integrity, building trust, is that gives you the opportunity to also create your own offers. That trust, that integrity can transfer to you putting your own offers out into the market, which gives you the opportunity to leverage the expertise that you're developing in the trenches. And as an added bonus, you're also in the best position to be building those offers, building those products, because you're in the trenches doing it, right? And one of the things I'm really excited about tackling in Knoxville, which it's going to be super fun. It's going to be super, an intimate, closely knit community. We're going to be working together on it. One of the things I'm most excited about is you're really making the transition from being a service provider, right? You have a client that comes to you, they have a product. You're making the transition to product developer, product creator, offer creator, right? And you have all the raw materials you need. There's just a slight shift in mentality to take you there. And I'm really excited to dive in with those in Knoxville to help them do that. And one of the biggest questions I'm looking forward to answering is like, how do you decide, right? Like in the chat or raise your hand, like if you've ever thought of an info product idea, an ebook idea, a course idea, right? Like drop it in there. And like most of the times you are filled with ideas of like what you could create. You have multiple ideas, and like how do you decide what to create and what to do? And you want to do it by creating a feedback loop, right? That eliminates bias. Like that is the biggest risk, is you bring this bias to the market that you think the market wants it, or you're stuck in uncertainty. And you're like, I have all these ideas and I don't know which one's the best, which one I should pursue. And so you do that by setting up a feedback loop that's really simple, really fast, and doing that. And I'm really looking forward to diving into that and helping the service providers make that transition to product creator, and then setting up that feedback loop for certainty for which one to pursue.
Yeah, I love that. That really is the crux. The other thing that was going on, during that time is I would get together with another copywriter, and we were like both doing pretty well. And you get on the phone together and you start going, oh, it'd be great if we should create a thing where blah, 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 blah. And I bet, oh my God, everybody would want that. And then you spend, 2 months talking about it, 60 hours of your time, like dedicated. And then you go, no, nobody wants this. or this is, we're not really going to do this. I don't know how many times. And so, because we didn't know, like, what should it actually look like? How should we release it? Should it be video? Should it be PDFs? Could we drip it through email? Like what? And you just become overcome with, does anybody even really want this? And if so, what's going to be the coolest way for me to deliver it? What's going to make sense for me and my person? I hate being on video. I don't do video. Like, find another way, right? There's always options. And so that's what we're going to do, is help you decide the best medium, the best channel, the best platform, all those ways, if you're interested in developing your own offer. And like Kev said, I mean, creating a feedback loop. I always say dialogue is the most valuable thing we can ever have as marketers, because people are saying, use my words, and people like me will resonate with what they need to hear to trust you. And it influences how we develop the products. And, so that's what we know, it's coming from an organic place. So super cool, Kevin. Thanks for doing that. And I love all the work we're doing together, and can't wait to put you on the stage and learn from you myself. So thank you, brother.
Yep, appreciate it, Kevin.
All right, see you in Knoxville.
See you.
All right, look at us, exactly right at the top of 1 o'clock. I'm just going to stop because I can't believe we hit it on the head. So thank you for spending this hour with me, everybody. If you are not a member of Copy Chief, please come join us. It's what is it, $150 a month or something. Give us a month and come in and look around. And if you don't like it, or it isn't what you thought it would be, we'll gladly refund your money. We're not trying to be anything other than what we are. And it's pretty amazing what we are. If you want to build a network, if you want to get involved, if you want to go spy on the world of financial copywriting, and take that knowledge and apply it to either that industry or other industries where you work on, there's just no higher level education you can get about what makes great campaigns. And you'll hear more about what we're doing in Knoxville. And we have active job boards. We post 2 to 3 new jobs that are vetted every week in Copy Chief. So make sure if you are a member, make sure you're watching that thread and getting emails when a new post goes up on the job board. Really important. So you can jump on them right away. All right, everybody. Appreciate you. Thanks for spending your time with me. I hope it was valuable for you, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.